Bienvenido a un nuevo contenido de Uninorteco. No olvides suscribirte a nuestro canal.
Good morning. On the behalf of the fifth version of Cátedra Global, we want to give you a warm welcome to the event Oportunidades de estudio y beca en el exterior, Purdue University, in which we are honored to count with the special participation of Juan Diego Velázquez, Managing Director for Columbia-Purdue Partnership, and Glenda Caudil, Associate Director, Programs for Study Abroad. Juan Diego has 8 years in international higher education in U.S. and Colombian academic cooperation. Juan is the Managing Director of the Columbia-Purdue Partnership in the Office of Global Partnerships, where he manages a portfolio of programs between Purdue's 10 colleges and over 20 Colombian entities, academic and non-academic. His previous position include Assistant Director of TA and Curricular Development in the Center for Structural Excellence, and most recently, Managing Director of Strategic Initiatives for the College of Engineering, both positions at Purdue. He has authored several referee journals and conference proceedings. Juan holds a PhD in Industrial Engineering from Purdue. On the other hand, we have Glenda Caudil. Glenda has been working in the field of international education over 23 years, including nearly 19 years in Purdue's Office of Programs for Study Abroad. As Associate Director, Glenda manages all Purdue's reciprocal exchange in Latin America. This means that she assists Uninorte students as they prepare to come to Purdue, Australia, and New Zealand, as well as all the study abroad programs with third-party providers, which are located all over the world. Her career in education abroad was inspired after studying and interning in Germany, Austria, and the Netherlands for 4 years and earning a graduate degree in German and management. Now, you're going to make a short icebreaker activity to know the student's preference, so I'm going to switch to Spanish to make the activity. Buenos días. Entonces, a la audiencia que nos está viendo, a todos los estudiantes, los vamos a invitar a que por favor ingresen a la página web de menti.com utilizando el código. El código es el 7224185. Vamos a darles unos minutos a los estudiantes para que se conecten y puedan entrar a la página de Menti. Vamos a esperar que los estudiantes se vayan conectando, ingresando a la página. La página es www.menti.com y el código es 7224185. Vamos a darle unos minuticos. Ok, ahí nos van contestando. Ingeniería industrial, tenemos estudiantes de ingeniería industrial. ¿De qué otros programas de Uninorte? Vamos a conocer un poquito de los estudiantes. Derecho, ok. ¿Qué otros programas? Administración de empresas, ok. Ingeniería mecánica, derecho, administración de empresas, ingeniería mecánica. Tenemos de ingeniería industrial también, administración de empresas. Ok, bueno, tenemos una variedad de programas. Entonces vamos a continuar con el icebreaker para conocer un poquito de sus preferencias. Entonces aquí vamos a iniciar con la primera pregunta. ¿Dónde está ubicada la Universidad de Purdue? Vamos a ver qué tanto saben. Fort Wayne, Indiana, West Lafayette, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana. Vamos a ver. Ya van 4 que contestan. 3, 2, 1. Hands up. Bien. West Lafayette, Indiana. Vamos con la segunda pregunta. ¿Cuál es la capital de Indiana? Vamos a ver qué contestan los estudiantes. Tienen 10 segundos. 5 segundos. 2, 1. Time's up. Indianapolis, Illinois, Indianapolis. Ok, la respuesta correcta es Indianapolis. Entonces vamos a la última pregunta. Vamos a ver cuál es su comida americana favorita. Burger. Pancakes, hot dogs, hamburguesas con papas, pizza. Hamburguesas, ok, McDonald's. Pancakes, bueno. Con fast food. Entonces lo que ganó fue fast food. Bueno, entonces con ese pequeño icebreaker, los vamos a dejar. Now I'm gonna welcome, after knowing like the preference of the students, we're gonna welcome Juan Diego and Glenda. Welcome Juan Diego and Glenda to Uninorte Global.
Welcome here.
Hi.
Do you want me to start with the video now, or?
Go ahead, Glenda. Yes.
Okay. So, as mentioned, I'm Glenda Caudell. I am Associate Director of the Programs for Study Abroad, and I manage all of the exchange programs in Australia, New Zealand, and Latin America. So if you come to Purdue, I will be assisting you to prepare as you apply and get ready to come to Indiana. We have a short video presentation. It's about 11 minutes, and then I'll show you our website really quick, and then Juan will share some other opportunities at Purdue besides just the semester or two on exchange. Okay? And so let's hope I do this correctly this time. Share screen. All right. Is it working?
Not yet.
Okay.
There it is. It is there.
Well, I just.
Elena, and I'm part of the study abroad team at Purdue University. Thanks for taking some time today to learn a bit more about our campus, see some images of Purdue, and just learn a bit more about the exchange program that we offered. We're based in West Lafayette, Indiana, and Lafayette is just across the river. So together, these two cities form what we call Greater Lafayette, and their shared population is about 150,000. So a community this size, students tell us, is a really great place to live and study. On the one hand, they really get that feeling of a close-knit community and a small Midwestern college town, but we also can support just about everything that students might want to see and experience when they want to take a break from their coursework and take some time away from campus as well. So for example, we are home to a civic theater and a symphony orchestra and an art museum just within Greater Lafayette in a short bus ride away from campus. So you really get the best of both worlds. Of course, if you decide you'd like to do some exploring in one of the Midwest larger cities, of course, we're just 2 hours southeast of Chicago and 1 hour northwest of Indianapolis. So it's really easy to make a day trip of either of those cities or to fly in and out of their major airports. We also enjoy living in this region of Indiana that our cost of living is well below the national average. So it's an especially affordable place to be a student. At Purdue, we are home to over 200 academic fields, and those are distributed across 10 colleges and schools. So those colleges and schools include agriculture, education, engineering, health and human sciences, liberal arts, management, pharmacy, science, technology, and veterinary medicine, just to give you a bit of a sense of all the things that Purdue students are exploring and researching here on campus. We're especially proud of the fact that 23 Purdue graduates have gone on to become astronauts, including Neil Armstrong, the first person to walk on the moon. In fact, if you pass by our engineering buildings here on campus, you'll see that out on the lawn, there's a concrete replica of the footprint that he left on the moon. And students like to try to recreate the leaps that he made. Although, of course, because our gravity is a bit different down here, they usually don't make it all the way. But we do like to think about giant leaps as more of a metaphor here at Purdue for the discoveries and experiences that students will have both when they're on campus with us and then in their lives in the future as well. So at Purdue, we receive around $500 million annually for research, and that supports some wonderful state-of-the-art research facilities, including our Discovery Park, where medical, biotechnology, and nanotechnology laboratories are housed, as well as our Purdue Research Park, where life sciences, engineering, advanced manufacturing, and information technology research facilities are. Our campus community is made up of about 40,000 total students. And of those students, more than 8,700 are international students. So as an international student at Purdue, you'd be in a very good company. We also have over 1,100 international faculty and staff members from 125 countries around the world. So the Purdue campus is a very diverse and global place to be. In fact, we're continually ranked second or third in the country in terms of international enrollment. We have more than 1,000 student organizations on campus and lots of student activities you can take part in. Of those 1,000 student organizations, nearly 70 are devoted just to international student interests and experiences. So exchange students are welcome to take part in any of those groups or to audition for Purdue musical organizations and for theater and dance productions as well. So there are lots of great ways to get involved. Throughout COVID-19, residential learning has been ongoing. So we're really proud of the way that our students have taken on the challenge and really risen to the circumstances to protect themselves and keep one another safe and healthy as well through something that we call the Purdue Pledge. So we are really happy and fortunate that we haven't seen any evidence of transmission of COVID-19 in the classroom setting here at Purdue. And meanwhile, we've been able to maintain student sense of connectedness and just giving them opportunities for fun and socially distanced venues for programming like some of these following highlights. They've included movies and trivia nights and football watch parties at Slater Hill, which is a campus landmark. We've also hosted piano pop-ups where students have been able to find outdoor pianos under tents strategically placed around campus and just pause for a moment on their way to and from classes and perform little impromptu mini concerts for passers-by. That's been really fun. And we've also found that outdoor and virtual fitness classes have been really popular for students during this time. So students are finding ways to continue to be physically active and take part in some of the same kinds of group exercise activities and things that might otherwise be offered through our Purdue Athletics Center. So as you can see in this picture, our Recreation Sports Center is a lovely facility and it's very popular with students, also free of charge for all exchange students. So in order to get involved with sporting events, students can attend the Big Ten games or even get involved themselves with intramural and club sports at Purdue. Purdue offers on-campus accommodation to exchange students, and this includes comfortable housing, organized social events and residential learning programs, and meal plan options as well. So on-campus housing at Purdue is more than just a convenient place to stay that's close to all of your classes. It really is a great way to get involved in the local community and really woven into the fabric of the campus culture as well. And it's great that the free local bus service will connect campus and the greater Lafayette area for all exchange students. All Purdue students have to do is just show their Purdue University ID card, and they can ride for free on any of the buses all around greater Lafayette. So I'd like to close by sharing some of the Purdue traditions you could look forward to taking part in if you're able to join us as an exchange student. Throughout all the different seasons, you can look around campus and see Purdue students taking part in traditions that have been a cherished part of the Purdue experience for generations. So these include, in the winter months, things like sledding on Slater Hill. So we do get a good bit of snow here in Indiana, and students really enjoy it by going sledding, as you can see the student enjoying here. Also in the colder months, we enjoy the Purdue Christmas Show, which is production with really high quality performances by students in Purdue musical organizations. Then in the warmer months, there's something called Grand Prix for the end of the spring semester. It's a week full of student activities that culminates in the big event race. It's the Grand Prix race, where students race go-karts that they've built themselves from scratch. And the proceeds go toward funding scholarships for students and have done for decades. When the warmer weather does come around, we love to see students participating in fountain runs outside. We have at least 5 really beautiful fountains on campus, and students will participate in this tradition of a fountain run where they stop by each of them as they run around campus. And the legend is that it brings them luck for academic success at Purdue. When you're on campus, you'll likely hear the sound of a train whistle at some point coming around to the corner, and this is probably from the Boilermakers Special, which is our college mascot. So it's a big train, and it's a vehicle that can drive all around the streets surrounding campus. So you'll likely see it while you're with us, and you may even get lucky enough to be able to hitch a ride on it as well. So one final Purdue tradition is that of walking or not walking under the bell tower. So there's a beautiful bell tower in the center of campus. Most students will pass it at least once a day on their walk between classes, but the tradition goes that you're not supposed to walk through the archway at its foundation until you've graduated, or otherwise you won't graduate in 4 years. So not all students take it as seriously as others do. In fact, since we've started offering a degree in 3 program, where it's becoming more common for undergraduate degree seeking students to graduate in 3 years instead of 4. Sometimes students may even walk under the archway on purpose because they know they want to graduate early. So we'll leave it up to you whether you want to, or how you want to participate in that particular tradition. But in any case, walking past that bell tower is one of many really wonderful parts of the Purdue campus experience. So if you're ready to learn more about Purdue and you're interested in coming to study with us as an exchange student, of course, your first and most important step should be to get in touch with your home university's international office. So they'll be able to share all the most relevant information with you and let you know any next steps that you should be taking to make that a reality. Of course, we do have some resources on our website as well that you're always welcome to explore. Our website is studyabroad.purdue.edu, and we offer an incoming exchange students menu that has just some more details about the exchange program than I shared today. You can also check out protect.purdue.edu for information about our response to the pandemic and all our approaches to keeping students safe and healthy when they're with us here on campus. Of course, you can always search for Purdue University on YouTube. We have a channel there with student interviews and some great video tours of campus, so you can get an even clearer sense of what it would like to really be here. And then if you'd like a little more interactive experience with your remote tour of Purdue, you can visit our brand new virtual campus tour at tour.purdue.edu. So once again, thanks so much for taking the time today to learn a bit more about our university and our exchange program here at Purdue. As we like to say, be well and boiler up.
So can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I've never worked with this before, but can everyone hear me speaking now? Okay. I'm going to, thank you. I saw in the things. I want to now share our website really quickly. Okay, hopefully you can see. This is, Elena mentioned the our study abroad website at Purdue. And if you see here in the middle, it has incoming exchange students. So when you click there, you can click on, well, there's the application process. And it's a very simple page, really, but it has, as you can see, the deadline that we need completed applications. So March 15th is our deadline for the upcoming fall semester, which starts in late August. And October 1st for our spring semester, which usually starts in January, but it may very well start in February next year. I just realized we need to maybe think, well, I think Purdue is changing the calendar for 2022. We require the equivalent of about a 3.0 average GPA on the 4-point scale that we have in the USA. So please speak with your representatives at UniNorte to see if what you might need to have grade-wise. We also require proof of your language skills. And you can do this by taking the TOEFL, IELTS, or the Duolingo English test. I believe the quickest and cheapest option now is the Duolingo English test. So I recommend that. That's a new since COVID that Purdue is accepting that. So I'm quite excited. It's not as time consuming as the TOEFL. And also international students coming to Purdue for a semester has to show proof of financial support for $7,230 US. And there's some examples there of how you can show proof of that. So like a credit card is not sufficient, but like you have to show cash available in a banking account or a scholarship or financial aid letter or something similar to that. And of course, we need a scan of your passport. So, and if your passport's expiring, just send me a scan of your expiring passport. We can work with that until you get your new one. So don't let that, if you're, and I'm in the middle of, I need to renew mine and your deadline's coming up on the 15th, just send a copy of your or your older passport. There's a bit more information at the bottom of the page just about tuition and fees and costs of living, as well as then links to information about living on campus through Purdue residences. We highly recommend that, and Elena mentioned that in the video as well. There are social activities and things happening on campus, in your dorms. Each dorm has a little fitness center, but of course we have, as she pointed out, the very large fitness center. But it's in my opinion easier to get to know other people and make friends if you're living on campus, and it's super convenient. It's a big campus, but it's easy to get around with the city buses and everything, or walking, or, you can get a bike or whatever. So that is all I was going to share. I just wanted to point out our website. Also on those links is information for the admitted students. So you're welcome to go in there and look at that too. There's a handbook and more details about what the students are doing to prepare to come to Purdue if you're just curious. So I am going to turn this over to Juan to talk about other research opportunities at Purdue.
Can you hear me? Okay, so again, so my name is Juan Velasquez, and Fiorella, thank you for the introduction. So Glenda is the guru and mastermind behind all of our mobilities that have to happen with Colombia, as far as student exchange, which are the programs that she described, which are 6 months, where you come and take a semester or two of classes at Purdue, and those are then counted and transferred to credits at Uninorte. Prior to the pandemic, we had visited Uninorte with the Dean of Engineering from Purdue, Dr. Mang Chang, and we were in the process of starting another type of program that is based more on research rather than classes. A student might take a class or two per the permission of the faculty member, but that class will not be transferred for credit to Uninorte. Unfortunately, we all know what happened to the world in 2020. So that program was put on hold. So we hope to restart our conversations with our colleagues at Uninorte, specifically with the Facultad de Ingeniería, the College of Engineering at Uninorte, and the College of Engineering at Purdue, to launch our first pilot of that program, probably in the next, in 2022. For 2021 is probably too late. I know there's still a lot of limitations and mobilities on both of the countries, and the program does require some good amount of planning to make sure that it can be implemented. So hopefully for 2022, we will have a research-based mobility opportunity for students from Uninorte. My apologies. Okay, thank you very much. Fiorella, I'm done.
Let's see if we have maybe some questions in our chat. So let's see if the students have some questions.
Perfect, thank you.
They ask about the dates, the application dates.
For the semester exchange?
For the exchange semester, yes.
Yes. So for students who want to come in what we call fall semester, which is late August until mid-December, our application deadline is March 15th. But you need to work first with Uninorte to become nominated to Purdue. And how I think maybe it's better if Fiorella, if you could talk about your application process to get nominated.
Yes.
That might be helpful. So my deadline is March 15th, but you have maybe an earlier deadline.
Yes, exactly. For the next semester, we just finished last week the applications. Like the deadline was on Friday 26th, February 26th. And the students that apply for the full semester, they will be nominated by us to you. So you can share with them like the process, the application process at Purdue. So they can begin with that process. Okay. And maybe let's see if they have any questions, they can also contact Natalia Zapata, our International Mobility Assistant, so to share or to know a little bit more about the process. So let's see if we have another question. Will Engineering Alliance be exclusive for majors? How can we apply when the programs start?
What is the Engineering Alliance?
I think he means that
a research program.
Yes.
No, so there's two different things. So the academic exchange is what Glenda and the Office of Study Abroad manages. The other one is not a student exchange; it's a mobility based on research.
Okay. Jose Eduardo, maybe Jose Eduardo, can you explain your question better? So we can ask them and you can have an answer. Okay, we have another question. Andrea Alvarez asked, can you tell us about the scholarships, please?
For the exchange, Purdue does not offer scholarships for international students. Again, maybe UniNorte has something that you can share, what you're offering your students to go abroad.
Okay, thank you very much, Glenda.
So I see the question now, Fiorella. So
okay.
I'm gonna go through them quickly. If you have nobody has a visa that will count for a student exchange. So whether it's the program that Glenda coordinates or the one that I coordinate, our International Students and Scholars Office will have to work with you to issue that. In the case of the programs with Glenda, they will work with our International Students and Scholars. And in my case, I have to work with them as well. But any visa that you currently have does not work to come for any of these mobilities. Having said that, getting another visa for student mobility does not cancel your tourist visa, just so that everybody is aware. We do not have a law school at Purdue University, so law is not there's areas that are close enough, like political science, but we don't have a law school at Purdue University in West Lafayette. That's for Andres Felipe.
So Purdue has a major called Law and Society within our sociology department. So sometimes law students come to Purdue and take some classes from the Law and Society major or political science. But law school in the United States is a master's program or a graduate level program, not an undergrad. You can't get a law degree and practice law as an undergrad with an undergraduate degree in the United States.
Exactly.
Okay. The next two questions by Angie and Francisco. There are no scholarships for undergraduate students. For masters, there's actually Purdue doesn't offer scholarships. What Purdue offers, or most public universities like us, what Purdue offers are fellowships or assistantships. An assistantship is something that you're given because you're going to be doing research or you're going to be teaching. What I will say though right now is that the majority of those, when they become available, you're going to be more competitive to get that funding if it's going to be a PhD degree. It's becoming more difficult for a lot of departments to provide that level of funding for a master's student. Having said that, we do have, and I know I'm Colombian, so I know how we function. There's also opportunities through Fulbright. There's opportunities to Corfuturo. I know some of you don't like to have a partially forgiven loan, but it's a possibility. But you will encounter that it is less. The probability of getting an assistantship at a master's degree level is less than a PhD level, just because that money usually comes from a faculty member or from his or her grants, and a master's only takes 2 years usually, or maybe a little bit less. So faculty members look, when they have those funds, to do it as a long-term investment, and for them 2 years is not a long-term investment enough for them to spend all that money and have the student graduate after a semester or something of becoming familiar with what they're doing. So I don't know if Glenda, if you want to add anything, or
I think exactly what you said was perfect. Okay. Unfortunately, Purdue does not offer, even for our degree-seeking undergraduate students, we don't offer scholarships for those students, and I don't like that, but it's not up to me.
Okay, I want to highlight that here at UniNorte we offered all undergraduate students a scholarship, a mobility scholarship in the tuition. So if you are gonna make an academic exchange, you will be benefit of that scholarship in your tuition. So it's important to know that you will pay here at UniNorte, and you don't need to pay anything at Purdue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heidi, Lorena asked a question as a social communicator student, and I think that's something that then you will work with Uninorte, and Uninorte will also, and Glenda will also look at Purdue if the departments in which you will be taking classes are part of the agreement or not. We have a communication department, and I remember Glenda is liberal arts part of the agreement. Okay.
Yep.
So maybe you can take that question, because I'm not as familiar with that.
Okay. I didn't, yes, we have communication. We have a wonderful, wonderful communication department in our College of Liberal Arts. It covers everything from just general communication to media and, yeah, it's huge. It's really good. Come to Purdue for communication for sure. I think it's a wonderful major. I'm going to jump back to, as they were explaining about the scholarships and costs. And so, as I mentioned, you have to have proof of financial support for $7,000 some dollars for the semester. That is specifically for your accommodations and food and school supplies and that stuff. It is not for tuition. So tuition for an international student at Purdue for one semester is about $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, depending if you're in liberal arts or engineering. So that is waived, and you just are you are responsible for whatever you have to pay to Uninorte for the tuition. So although we're not offering scholarships, we are waiving $15,000 or more in tuition. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. It just dawned on me after you guys were talking a little bit more.
That's a great point, Glenda.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that's important to highlight.
Yeah. So $7,000 is about what you would need for your general expenses, but that does not include if you want to go to New York City for the weekend or Chicago for the weekend. It's basically what you need to study and survive and roughly at Purdue. So I'm sorry, I want to get back to that. But yes, back to comm majors. Our College of Liberal Arts is really wonderful. Purdue is most famous for engineering and is also well known for its School of Management. But our College of Liberal Arts is also really, really awesome as well. So don't ignore Purdue if you're a liberal arts major.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Glenda. I think that's right on. Okay, so now we have the question by Jose Eduardo, and he clarified it. Thank you. Whenever it opens, Jose Eduardo, I'm sure the college at Uninorte is going to let you know. We have not had the conversations yet. So whenever it opens, I'm sure it will be shared with the students at Universidad del Norte so that you can all prepare your application. But at this time, we don't have a timeline, and it's exclusively for. It's not after finishing your undergraduate program; it's as part of your undergraduate program. So if you already graduated from an undergraduate program, you will not qualify for the program. And is it for engineering? Yes, it's only for engineering. Okay.
Here we have another question from Heidi Cueto. She said, we can study and work when you study at Purdue?
Yes. Undergraduate international students at Purdue are allowed to work on campus up to 20 hours a week. So there's all kinds of jobs on campus. Mostly would be, in the student union, there's a lot of restaurants, for example, or the Purdue catering area, because there's always tons of events at Purdue. And so it is fairly easy to find a part-time job on campus, but with the J-1 visa, you are allowed to work and earn money. But you can't work off campus. You have to work on campus at Purdue.
Okay, thank you, Glenda.
But I want to add one comment to that, and that's make sure you know the expectations of your classes, because being familiar with the Colombian system and compared to the US system, the amount of homework that you're going to have here is significantly higher the amount of, especially if you're in engineering, for instance, that you will have in Colombia. I'm not saying that one is easier than the other. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the amount of homework is significantly higher. So the agreement is usually, correct me, Glenda, done at this junior, high sophomore, junior level, correct?
Sophomores, juniors, seniors.
Okay. So I mean that because at that point, your classes start to get a little bit more challenging because maybe it's content you haven't seen before. So yes, you can work, but I would caution you that the reason you would be at Purdue to do this program is to work in your academics and not to make minimum wage for the job that you will be doing. So if you're here for your academics, then your number one priority should be your academics.
Yeah. So speaking of the course load, to be legally in the United States as an exchange student, you are required to take what we call a certain number of credit hours. So full-time is 12 credit hours to 18 credit hours. So Norte may have other requirements, but for us, legally, you need to be 12 to 18 credit hours. So if you are wanting to work part-time on the side, I would only do it if you're maybe taking, 12, 13 credits, not 18. If you're taking 18 credits at Purdue, most classes are about 3-4 credits each. So I would not try to work and do 18 credits. It would be a lot at Purdue.
Okay, thank you very much, Glenda. Let's see the last question. Maybe we have here. Due to the pandemic situation, at this moment, the graduate classes and the undergraduate classes are face-to-face or they are online?
They are a hybrid.
Okay.
So currently this semester, the classes, in order to have social distancing, so the student might the class might meet 3 days a week, but maybe once or twice a week the student goes in person, and then the other day they are doing it online. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best way. If the weather's nicer, sometimes the instructors can have class outside, but it's really cold here in the middle of winter, so that's not an option. It's almost spring. We can't wait. But so in the fall semester, for example, in August, it's really hot in August in Indiana. So we have all 4 seasons. We have really hot summers. We have really cold winters, and everything in between. It just kind of depends on the season as well, what's happening. But right now it's still too cold to have class outside. But it's my understanding that Purdue is expecting as a fall semester to have classes, in-person classes at 100% capacity again. That could change, and everything is dependent on where we are with these vaccines and things. But it's sounding to me like Purdue is planning to return to normal pretty much for the fall semester, and so this August. So then maybe in the future, I won't be joining you from my house. I will be in my office at Purdue.
That's great. Okay, let's see. Like the last question. And Juliana Adames, is there a program for modern languages and culture as a student at Purdue?
So, I was, as an undergraduate student, I was a modern languages major, so I love you. Purdue does not have a modern languages major, but we have different foreign languages, so it'd be easy to tap in to, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, Italian. I think we have Chinese. I don't think the Chinese is super advanced, but we offer foreign languages, and we also have majors that are Asian studies or something like that too. So you can learn about other cultures and things too. So while we don't have, if you look at the Purdue website, you won't find an exact match for modern languages, but you will see there's plenty of classes for you to, I think, to create a semester at Purdue for sure.
Okay. Thank you very much, Glenda and Juan Diego. We, for your participation and your invaluable contributions to Cátedra, and thank you also to all the viewers for participating in the 5th version of Cátedra Global at Uninorte. We would like to invite you to keep watching our different Cátedra Global schedule, and we will be having Cátedra Asia Pacific on the 26th of April, and Cátedra Las Americas on the 13th of May, and Cátedra Africa on June 10th. So we invite you to all to continue being connected. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, Fiorella. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. It was good to meet you, see you in person.
Yes, we hope so. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Los siguientes contenidos de Uninorteco te pueden interesar. No olvides suscribirte a nuestro canal.